teams are moving on to the playoff bracket and which other teams, well, are not, and possibly even which two teams are moving to relegation matches having to play in that. So obviously a lot is on the line this weekend, as always, here in the cycle. So looking forward to not only seeing how all that plays out, but of course some good heroes in Neworth. Excited to be here. Hopefully you guys are. We're kicking it off with a pretty good matchup here. A best of two, of course. Sync Esports going up against PinE Dancers Esports, also known as PinE, formerly known as Revolution. And, you know, a team that's obviously been through a bit. But they've shown so far here in cycle number 7 that they are, by all means, a team to reckon with, actually. So excited to see how this one plays out here. I do have a co-caster for today, of course. And today, going to be joined by Near of Evil Corporation. Near, how's it going, man?
It's going great here. I had some good series yesterday, and yeah, looking forward to these ones.
Yeah, obviously, it's been a pretty good group stages. It's definitely been a lot of fun. In fact, action all across the board, of course, you know, even with some rescheduled matches happening. So it's been a busy week in that sense. And actually, well, one more point on top of that. Yesterday, even a match happened. We actually didn't cast it here on Honcast. I believe Grewcast was casting it, but BMG versus Polymorph happened yesterday. It was another rescheduled matchup. They played, and actually they split that series. So Polymorph was able to pick up their first game victory here of the group stages. So you see the group standings right here and how they're looking. You know, we got the split as we usually do, but as always, things are turning out pretty interesting here. So, again, looking forward to seeing how that continues on into this weekend now and finishing off. But also, as you saw there, PinE, they got 8 points. They're 2-2-1 going into this. This is an important series for them. If they can manage to at least split the series, if not possibly take a 2-0, then that would really set them up in a good spot. But, of course, it is Sync on the other side. So, but, yeah, excited to be here. Anyways, we already got plenty of draft to talk about, so let's get into it here. We got Wild Soul, Ophelia, Behemoth, and Arachna were the bands. Lord Self-Forest, snap picked by Zlap there. You got Midas, Warbeast into Madman, Puppet Master into good old Deadlift here. So, well, what is your take on what we're seeing here so far, Near?
I'm surprised Warbeast made it to the third pick and wasn't first pick, but right away, Lord of the Forest and Warbeast, what they both have in common is that they farm the map very effectively. Lord of the Forest is arguably one of the fastest farmers in the game right now, and Warbeast can definitely get a lot of farm top, especially if that T1 is pushed, but they are also very passive early on. Of course, Lord of the Forest can be active, but Warbeast is definitely passive until he hits level 6. He rather wants to find farm a lot of items first, and then start grouping up for that and take fights at that point. But that's kind of late in the game. So PinE kind of has to be kind of active and make kills happen in 2 lanes. Try and focus on maybe mid and top, catch the Warbeast, go behind, maybe a smoke something, try and find him. Because if they just keep farming here, Sync is going to take a hefty lead with the lineup so far. Puppet Master, good short lane farmer, doesn't take up too much space either, so they can definitely farm up the map, and at the same time they have strong heroes to also set up ganks, Puppet Master, Shroud, and Self-Forest is just a strong hero. At the same time they have Deadlift to push with on the Hellpoint side, and if he manages to land some good death grips in either mid or top, it can result in kills and they can get a lead like that.
Absolutely, and obviously you mentioned, you know, push. Well, that one hero Scrap is unbanned. He is left open here, so there's that Deadlift Scrap synergy. Now, again, to be fair, they did change it to where the Onslaught no longer affects Vorax this most recent patch here, so definitely a little bit of a nerf to that combination. But I still think it could be possible if that's something they were looking for. But yeah, it seems like that seems like the idea that I really feel like at least you really want to go for it with a Deadlift. We've honestly, even before the nerfs happened to Deadlift, I know that Death Grip was an annoying ability. It's great for ganking early on, but it really just feels like that it's not had the win percentage, like the impact that I think teams have hoped for with it in that role. So they go profit here.
Yeah, strong team fight hero. Also deals a lot of damage in terms of ganking. So, and they don't really have any escape heroes. So if he manages to come into a lane and lands, you know, his stun and his debilitate, I think that could result in a kill, especially with Midas in the lane or Madman or Magmas. But they have to be really active here, in my opinion, to keep up with Sync's heroes in terms of farming, because Sync is just going to take a lead. It's just how the heroes work compared to each other. Mickey playing Gauntlet here. He had a successful Gauntlet game 2 days ago. Did pretty well in that hero, so maybe they're starting to like this one for Mickey.
Yeah, Gauntlet is just a genuinely entertaining hero. You know, the idea, of course, that this hero can get kills by himself pretty effectively. Obviously, a hero like Pebbles is also great at that, and something that they have done many of times before, what Mickey's known for. But maybe this is kind of something that they're dabbling into a little bit, that realizing, you know, another hero that has that potential. And, you know, brings a little bit different of a skill set to the table. You know, the ultimate, the idea that it purges is obviously pretty interesting, on top of the damage and the stun effect. So, definitely some fun capabilities of this hero.
Yeah, I thought that was the reason they picked it like 2 days ago, because we picked the Arachna and then they picked the Gauntlet to remove the Hardened Carapace, so it's really effective at ganking an Arachna, the Gauntlet that is. It's really good at that, so every time he pops at you ulti after, and you can actually almost solo an Arachna. Because if you take away her ability to use that Hardened Carapace, I mean, she has not a lot of HP or heal or life pool, so she dies really quickly.
That's really interesting. Yeah, no, that's right. They did pick it up against you guys. Wow. Okay, I didn't even realize that. We definitely didn't bring that up on the cast. So I'm glad you do bring that up. So it actually purges off the Hardened Carapace because it is a buff on it. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Wouldn't have thought about that. Huh. Very interesting synergy there. So, yeah, no Arachna here, but that potential amongst many other things again exists. So, yeah, it's kind of funny how PinE's making that point right there. They are one of these teams that you know, seems like they can switch up their roles quite a bit from game to game, and they're kind of doing that here once again. I mean, STS2 playing the deadlift now. We've seen this guy play carry, support, now a jungle deadlift, I'm guessing it's going to be. So they really do kind of just swap things up here on their side.
It's weird that it works that way with this team, because usually you try to get really good at certain parts of the game instead of swapping up and trying to be good at everything, because then you can kind of be an expert in what you do. Kind of you offlaning, or you play this here in your jungle and you do this and that and you do it to perfection. Instead, these guys are kind of like, we can do everything, so we swap it up. So I think that's why, like, usually the top 4 teams, they have their certain roles that they play. It's because you get that expertise in terms of what you want to play.
Yeah, that muscle memory, that just practice, that experience, you know, over and over in that specific role, it has to help. I mean, the idea that if you're constantly switching up, yeah, sure, it could be fun and keep things fresh, but it's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna have that advantage as you're pointing out there compared to other teams like those top 4 that just seem like they have those very defined roles going into every single match. So.
Exactly. There's that idea that, you know, you talked about Sephiroth playing Malik, and he's really good at that. I mean, that's also kind of, then there's argument to maybe swap it up. But yeah, if you're really good at some hero, like, then I think it's okay to do some kind of swap if you've practiced more. But else in general, I'm completely agreeing with what you're saying too. Yeah, we're agreeing with each other here.
Keep with what you know best when it comes to the roles. So, and obviously against a team like HTS4, that's even more important because you're going up against a team that knows what they're doing, has plenty, if not most, experience on the scene right now even, and, you know, obviously it's going to be a challenge here. So we'll see how much they're up for the challenge. As far as the lanes go, Prophet Magnus going to be going up against an Aluna Gauntlet. This should be a fun matchup here.
Yeah, it's quite interesting here. I think Magnus is probably the squishiest of the 2 here, but if deadlift rotation happens, it could be grim for them. At the same time, Gauntlet has the potential, if he's caught, to hook to Aluna and get out of that kind of misposition himself. So the deadlift Q is not as effective as you would like to believe on the Hellbourne side here.
Yeah, good point there with that hook ability. So he also kind of wondered maybe if that's why that final pick Gauntlet perhaps came out, knowing that could have been a presence there. You know, get a hero that has kind of a getaway tool in that Gauntlet. So perhaps some nice benefit there. Ooh, Aluna was up pretty far. I thought they might have been going for something. No, Prophet actually gets gone on with the hook. Still level 1s, though, so not the biggest fallout from Aluna. In fact, now she's in trouble as the counterplay comes out. A miss on the uphill attack. Wouldn't have been enough for the kill. But now Magnus, all of a sudden, he overextended. Gauntlet also needs to be careful, so as expected, it is just back and forth chaos right from level 1. Somehow nobody dies, but they get each other pretty damn low.
I thought that for sure they had the kill on the Luna. Magnus cancelled one auto attack by accident, and the Prophet missed one uphill. I think if those two hit, it would have been a kill. But that's, yeah, I thought they really had her there. But fun exchanges back and forth here.
Yeah, had to guess a lane there's going to be action in, no doubt this one. And now you see Magnus, he's trying to dodge. Good job right there. He's going back and forth. Mickey tried to hit it, but it's sidestep coming out from Zephyronte here on that Magnus. So, but again, as you would expect, this middle lane definitely providing plenty. So let's take a glimpse real quickly at the other lanes as going to try to focus on that middle, of course. Bottom lane, how about this? Midas, oh, the puppet show. But he was out of range of any attacks right there, so he's able to keep running. And he stays alive. That could have been the Bloodlust kill, but coming up short. Meanwhile, back to the middle. Now Prophet's invis. So here we go. Definitely more potential.
They are full HP in Sync side, so they will need deadlift. Oh.
Of course. Of course. I'm watching the invis Prophet. And sure enough, Puppet Master does go in to finish off Cyrox. Again, he was pretty low, and he went to that side chop right there. I guess he just got caught. Got to be patient.
Yeah. I thought he would send himself a health potion or something. Maybe he already did that and used it, so it wouldn't be effective. But the Haxman has really used a lot of mana down here, so he's been applying a ton of pressure. It's really, you don't really see a Puppet with no mana after 2 minutes, especially because the W has so long cooldown, like half a minute, so he's been basically using it every time it's up. So he's keeping the pressure on to Cyrox here, and he's doing well. Bloodlust kill, 100 GPM.
Especially in a 1 versus 1, yeah, you know, if this is like a 2v2 or like a tri-lane or something like that, and of course, you know, it would make more sense, but 1v1, it really is applying that pressure. And clearly working. Bloodlust kill, that's very worth it, of course, in the end. So, again, a good start. Ooh, the hook from Gauntlet, he actually canceled the animation, act like he was going. Death Grip, though, coming out. Now Luna's caught right here. Is it going to be now follow-up damage? I mean, it feels like it should be. Yeah, there we go. Easy kill onto Luna. Shows you that power of that Death Grip. Gauntlet, though, he wants revenge. One auto attack, but no, the Steam Bath comes out, and now Gauntlet actually has to run away before he gets turned on right there. So, well, there's the presence of Deadlift coming out early.
Yep, Gauntlet tried to position himself to hook, but he was not in position to hook him very far, so he validated it wouldn't matter anyways, and was probably the right call. But yeah, good rotation there from Deadlift, good kill. Also, Warbeast is level 4 now. That Warcry is level 2, and that's gonna give them an edge, you know, if they go for kills for Puppet again and in the mid lane.
Especially with Gauntlet, that Enfeeble working. I mean, he really is going to be hitting pretty hard here. That on top of the Infernal Instability, that Battle Cry, yeah, a lot of big damage going to be coming out potentially from this combo. So bottom, you see Midas, he's trying to escape actually. Lord Force positioning himself correctly. He is going to be in a good spot. The Puppet Show applied as he went in. One more auto attack. Oh my gosh, Lord Force. No, Puppet Master actually going to get it. It's almost like Slap was letting Puppet get the kill right there. Just walking next to him, so.
I don't agree with his skill build here. If he had one in W, I mean, he could have E'd away. He would have healed set Forest and Puppet, and then you W backwards, and they both take the stun. Because that has a huge AoE on the ultimate. So I think he could have potentially lived if he skilled that W. But yeah, good coordination from Slap and Haxman there.
Yeah.
Getting the kill again.
Yeah, so you're talking about Midas right there, but in the end, coming up short for him, and he is now 0-2-0. So Cyrox here, not the start he was hoping for. But at the same time, Puppet Master 1-0-1, 375 gold per minute. So actually slapped even Cockcraft. I didn't even notice that until just reading that there. I guess the Aura actually ended up killing him at that bottom lane. So, but hey, Slapped will take that. I'm sure his GPM's up there. Yep, 340 gold per minute. Lord Forest, that's what he does. He's level 6 now. He's going to be going back. The Ancient's only single set still, so not going to be able to go over there just yet and maybe do a double or triple. Oh, middle lane. That was a miscommunication. Gauntlet went for a hook, actually, but he ended up hitting a Luna right there. So that was a little awkward. Magnus, though, speaking of not executing appropriately, he misses the stun. Gauntlet, though, with that Death Grip in the flank is Midas. And he gets the kill, but at what cost here? Magnus, he's going to go down Midas. He should survive here. Yeah, he's going to be fine. Unless he hits a nuke. Oh, my gosh. If he hits this Q, whoa, that was close. Just out of range, though. They're kind of toying with him now. They want to keep him at bay. Midas going back in with the combo, and he gets the kill right there. What mana from Cyrox, especially with the start that he had. That's big that he's able to assist for a couple of these kills here in the middle.
Yeah. Well played from them. A good turn. Snap getting a little bit too overconfident, and they punish him for it. So well played. something that sometimes happens, especially when you play Sulfuris, because you have the potential to regen so much, and you're a tanky presence by as it is. So, yep, nice play from PinE here.
How's Madman doing top lane, by the way? 36-5, so it looks like he is doing pretty good. Of course, Warbeast has been doing a pull a couple times now. Saw Zebe executing that, and as I say this, he's now in some trouble. I don't know if it's going to be enough for the kill. Oh my god, so close actually. Wow. Look at this minion still going, jeez. That was really close.
Kinda, he needed Madman to man up a little bit before he used that Q. Like, just try and auto-attack him once or twice. But then it might be too obvious, but yeah, nice attempt anyway. Oh, mid lane.
Yeah. Magnus getting picked off meanwhile in the middle lane, so Zephyronte there. Going down as Gauntlet of Luna. Again, you can probably figure what happened. Gauntlet had his ultimate and able to set up the kill with that, so.
Top again.
Warbeast coming back in. Actually, he's going to be caught himself. The Death Grip does connect. Midas is also here, and more than enough damage, especially without that ultimate. No way he's getting away. Back to the middle lane. Profit was dove, actually. So Mickey really picking it up here, getting very involved. 330 gold per minute coming out for him. But important kill top lane, and now Madman's also going to help push this tower in with the others, and his GPM is going to skyrocket to 390, actually. So, good news for PinE there.
Yeah, nice patience from STST just to sit there and wait for him to TP back up there. I mean, Sivas had a really good time so far. He was 290, I think, before his death here. And he figured he could just TP in and be fine. But he didn't have the ultimate, and STST was just waiting with another death grip. They punish it. At the same time, they collapse on mid lane, or Mickey gets a kill onto the Prophet, as you say. So, back and forth action everywhere here.
See the illusions of deadlift there. Yeah, the Enfeeble working with them, so can be a little more powerful than others perhaps, but no, just simply scouting out with it, getting some information. Going to see STST a little low here perhaps in the jungle, but there's no one really to make a play happen, so nothing going to come from it. So Madman, though, quickly we're going back to him again. The start now looking pretty solid, 308 gold per minute. He's their hard carry, of course. But their only carry for that matter, so pretty rare to see a Madman on a team and as the sole carry. But that is what we have here. What is he going with that said?
He could go for a farming item first because he is that. Oh, no, actually, he's the only kind of damage even in the late game. So he needs a farming item and then to skyrocket before him. I would like him to go staff eventually, not right away though, but because they have so much burst on the Legion side on mid lane.
Gauntlet trying to live right here. He is going to help turn it initially, at least, on a Midas. He does go down. Midas, no way. He's actually going to escape right there. The Morser, Tisama just missing. Puppet Master really wanted the kill. He overextends the result. That big shared fate also going to assist right here as down goes Puppet Master. And now Lord Southforce has to make sure to run out of here. Magnus, he's got a stun in 2. Going to be out of range, though. But beautiful turn again from PinE coming out. And, I mean, that was big. Puppet and Gauntlet going down, not losing anyone on PinE's side. Meanwhile, top lane, not the best. Double damage run on Mammon. He chases down Zibe, and he picks up a kill. Man, PinE's got something going here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Madman managed to do that. I mean, Warbeast can just ulti and get out of there, but he used it, so Zibe probably playing a little bit too overconfident again. And nice play from them. That's pretty amazing here. Because, I mean, Midas was doing pretty bad bottom, but now he's made some really good rotations mid, top, and then mid again, and got 5, or is involved in 5 kills as a result of that, and they're looking pretty good now. I mean, I think Sync needs to chill out a bit, because they have the advantage in terms of getting ahead by just nothing happening. So if they chill down a little bit, they will get ahead in terms of the golden experience.
Yeah, obviously their lineup completely different in that they're running a Tricore, really. They got the Puppet, they got the Warbeast, and Lord Southforce even on top of that. So they can afford to be a little more greedy with that lineup for sure, but it does seem like that they're trying to make plays happen constantly, and no, I agree with you. You need to chill out, as you put it, here in this game. So we'll see Sync maybe toning it down a little bit here. You know, get the Portakon Gauntlet going to be a big thing. He's going for it, but I mean, you see, he's still leaving red boots and even just a mana battery here. So, honestly, pretty rare. I feel like, especially on Mickey, he usually likes to get the upgraded power supply with that bottle. You know, of course, upgraded boots on top of that before a portal key. But I guess that's just the way the game's going. What they feel needed, that hook is going to miss right there. On to Magnus, too, so...
Definitely a dead Magnus health.
Oh, actually, well, Magnus going in. The ulti hits from Gauntlet, but they get the Kona Luna. That sheer fate again helping to do some good damage. Midas, though, actually, Elemental warps away. Magnus does have a stun in 1 second. He's still trying to avoid right here. He actually is going to be fine for now, but oh, he runs into Gauntlet now. Can he get hooked? Oh, nice transmute from Midas. Hits all 3. So nobody dies. Well, I guess Luna died, and then everyone else gets out. Pine's doing a good job of executing in team support here.
They definitely are. They're doing a lot of damage, and they're really supporting each other. Some Swagmas coming out here, and also nice rotations from from Midas. I mean, he's landing some great combos. They're really utilizing these 2 heroes to their maximum effect right now.
Yeah, Madman again, just farming away at the top lane. I know you mentioned the idea of that the Staff of the Master. We have seen that a lot, and it's kind of funny how all these co-casters I've had on, I've kind of agreed. You'd like to see it, after, perhaps a farming tool and say like a damage item, like a shield breaker, or just something along those lines. But honestly, it feels like we've seen a lot of just almost first item staffs. Go the Rune Cleaver, if anything, and then the Staff of the Master. So it just the people that are playing it just really feels like they just think they love the idea of it and just how powerful it potentially is. So. It's interesting seeing that, I guess. And one side as a spectator, you're like, they shouldn't do it right away, but the players, seems like that they're picking it up right away at the same time. So I'm wondering what Not the Best here playing it is going to end up doing.
He does have a sustainer, so he's either going for Cleaver or he's going for the Nullstone. I think both are good options. If he buys the Cleaver though, he kind of needs, those 5 minutes without dying to really, then I will say it's worth it, definitely. But if he goes for the Nullstone, it's not going to protect him that well, but it does give him this sustainability in terms of mana and life regen that he kind of needs. At the same time, Cleaver does that too, and it adds damage. So maybe Cleaver's the best here. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he does go for. He's sitting on 1,600 gold now, so obviously going to be getting one of those two, as we mentioned. Still not showing which one just yet. Warbeast in the lane once again against him. A Madman very low on mana. Middle lane, a lot of action breaking out again. Colin's going to go down. Magnus stunned in. He got the kill. Also on Luna. Magnus does fall, but they made it a 2-for-1. It might be a 2-for-2 though. Midas, he's in a lot of trouble, a lot of lockdown. Too much, in fact, and he will end up falling as Lord South Forest is able to make his way out of there as well. So I was wondering if Deadlift was actually going to resurrect Magnus right there. That gravestone was up for a long time. Possibly could try to res and then made a play there, but wasn't able to in the end. Ends up being a 2-for-2.
Midas almost got out of that. He's in the month of Orbit as the last auto attack hit him. And yeah, close, because that would have definitely mean that the PinE come out of on top here. But instead, Sinks get the kill, and they're looking pretty good. I mean, Gauntlet's 500 away from Portal Key, and Magnus is still 1,000.
What do you think about that, though, with Gauntlet? I mentioned kind of he's got the bottle, but really that's it. I mean, the mana battery and then red boots still. Is it worth getting the Portal Key this quickly, or should he maybe gone some stats here? Upgraded boots at least.
I think with all this fighting, the stats would actually have helped him survive, probably. Maybe, I mean, potentially could help him survive, or at least makes it harder for the enemy team to kill him if he has those steam boots. And as a result of that, he could maybe have had a good amount of gold still if he survived and maybe made a turn. I mean, that's something you can't really say if that would have happened, but definitely has potential to. So, yeah, I would probably have bought some items here.
This middle lane, man. Storm Spear coming out. Wow. That almost came out of nowhere. Lord Self-Forest having that Storm Spirit. It's still not enough to save. And Luna gets caught by the Death Grip. So, gotta say, these Death Grips have most certainly been very useful. STST is on point here. And now 4-0-2 with that deadlift. So a couple of kills all of a sudden again. And again, Gauntlet's going to be delayed. You're talking about the lack of stats perhaps hurting a little bit too. So it's getting close to Portal Key, but I mean, he's not there just yet. And this is now like 3 or 4 minutes later than he would have loved to have it. And it could still even be a little longer at this rate.
Yep. It's some good rotations from PinE. I mean, really slowing that down. It's got to be really frustrating for Mika, because they were trying to bait that with the Storm Spirits. Self-Forest hiding in the fog, and then if they used a lot of stuff on Mika, they wanted to storm him, but Slab wasn't able to use it in time, and as a result, it goes in PinE's way. Yeah, looking really good for them. Now the stats are actually even here. He does pick up the cleaver, and I think that's honestly the best because it adds damage to him. And if you want to go staff, I mean, you want damage, you don't want survivability. So I think cleaver here into damage item and staff is definitely the best option here. I mean, he's gonna do a lot in the team fights because they have the potential to burst him down, but as soon as that staff activates, they can't really deal with him. And then he's gonna win them the fight, even if he dies. So you gotta, this kind of glass cannon builds, it should be the best, honestly, in this game.
Yeah, it is a strong ability. I mean, we have seen that presence here of the Staff of the Master on Madman. Not that it's bad. Again, it's, you know, whether or not it is best to pick it up second like this is I think, debatable. But as you're pointing out, this game, you feel it does make sense, and it is a strong tool to use. So, yeah, keep an eye on not the best here and whether or not that glowstone's purchased, and if he is going to be going for it next or perhaps something else first. Meanwhile, over here, Warbeast, he's going to be fine. Midas couldn't get a comfortable transmute off, so able to escape right there. Well played. And there's the Assassin Shroud on Puppet Master in the meantime. So obviously a very key item coming out on the Legion side. Haven't talked too much about Haxor in here, but 420 plus gold per minute. That'll get you a fairly quicker Assassin Shroud with the Whispering Helm already. So yeah, he's actually farming very well here at this bottom lane now.
That's Haxor has kind of quietly been doing his own thing, porting in when he had to and trying to set up some turn kills. Else he's been farming, and he's doing it pretty well here. 425, as you say. Or if he can get the kill on Madman here, that's huge. Not sure if he has the damage. Oh, they do.
Red power throw coming through. That makes sure of it, but at what cost now for Puppet? He's in trouble. He doesn't have that Assassin Shroud. He's going to go for the TP. Are you kidding me? It's actually going to work. They did not have a stun to follow. Magnus, or Madman, obviously trying to help Trigger right there too, but man, that was something. He's able to get away.
Honestly, not the worst outcome. I mean, if they killed him, it would have been honestly in their favor because Deadlift resurrected Madman, and he's just farming away again here, not losing any time at all. And 470 GPM. Puppet did get boosted 25, but he's still ahead in the GPM charge. And it's not the worst. Like, usually when a kill like that happens, it's pretty crucial for how the game is gonna go. But not with Deadlift here.
Yeah, no, I had to do a double take there, honestly. I actually thought Madman had bought back and ported back in, but that's right. No, he got resurrected by Deadlift, as you pointed out there. And again, that really kind of just shows you that it's interesting how that ability, before we were seeing a lot of Deadlift, it really was considered, you know, not that great. But I feel like with the changes that happened, especially now with the charge-based system to it, we've had actually some decent impact from it. In these games that we've been seeing him since that patch that took place with it. So, and yeah, I mean, there's specific heroes like a Madman, and I know like a Dr. Repulsor, of course, comes to mind, where if you're able to res them in a fight, like, it's huge. Like, the reset factor of heroes like that is very powerful. So.
Also, I think the staff is going to activate, and then he's going to go ham for 10 seconds or however long it is. And then you have the potential to res him after that, in case you actually win the fight. So it's actually a pretty powerful combination if they can manage to get out ahead in the fight.
Yeah. Oh, Gauntlet bottom lane. They're jumping onto Zephyron. They down here, and it's an easy kill for them. They kill the Gravestone, make sure of it this time. And now they're going to push the tower on top of that. So good execution from Sync there, and able to successfully get that kill. However, invulnerability comes out on the tower, and that will prevent them from actually pushing it in as they fall back from it instead. So, by the way, Madman does go Shield Breaker, as we see here. So he likes the idea of at least getting a little bit of damage first.
Yeah.
Before getting said
I think
staff.
it's a good item. I like it. I think it's fine here, especially if you have it this early in the game. It's gonna basically mean you deal true damage to your opponents, and that's pretty strong right now.
Now, he is going to Kongor. Now, it's not level 3, so of course it's not affecting Kongor just yet. But just that damage increase is helping, and of course the gash that he brings, how it works now. So he is still doing it pretty damn quickly. I mean, his solo Madman is one of the best at soloing Kongor, no doubt in the game. So.
And this Void from Serenia doesn't spot it in there. I mean, he stalked in there, and then he's not visible to Sync, so they have no idea that this is happening.
Picks up the token. That's probably a surprise, of course, for Sync Esports. Yeah, seeing that pop up, that Conqueror's been slain. So knowing that now, very likely, of course, in their mind, whether they see Madman or not, he probably has that token, and they're going to have to deal with that here. Magnus having his own portal key, obviously big, and Madman now has a level 2 shield break to be delivered. Level 3, in fact, is going to be finished right here as well, so.
I mean, with token here, if they force a fight and Madman has, doesn't die twice, he can really deal a lot of damage really quick. So they have to be very careful sync up here with the forcing an engagement. And I think PinE wants to take this. I mean, try and scout them out, have a good 2-3 man stun with Magnus if they can, and
there we go, the initiation actually. You see the Shrunken Head Lord South Force, but man, look at that damage from Madman. And all of a sudden, Lord South Force running away quickly, at least he's trying to. Madman is chasing, Magnus stuns in though, hits him, and Madman's gonna help finish off South Force. Most likely, no, he gets hooked away actually by Gauntlet. That almost hurts Gauntlet now as far as his chances go because they got the kill in South Force, and now Gauntlet, he's going to have trouble getting away. Portal key, oh, he could not get it off because the stock hit, and now Gauntlet going to be chased down. That damage, man, when he gets the shield breaker debuff on you, it just wrecks you.
The shield breaker free this early in the game does so much damage. 3 hits on South Force, he took 1,000 damage. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, they're going to go for the base here. I don't see why they should stop. 30 seconds.
Yeah, Madman's insisting on not going at. Well, he's buying a health potion, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah, he's going to buy some regen here, so they may still go for a little bit of a push as now he's coming back down.
Yeah, this does take a lot of time to run up there and buy potions, and the Warbeast has potential to push the mid tower, and I don't think they can. This is risky though, pushing base like this.
Oh, Madman, he's feeling it. That Death Grip is coming out, and he has the token, so looks like he is just going to risk using it right here as they do take out Puppet Master. You can argue probably worth it right there. No buyback as mentioned. That's huge. The tower goes down. TP is coming in as they kill the secondary middle tower. The hook, it's going to land on a Midas. And they get a quick kill on him. Prophet, the shared fate coming out. That's a big shared fate. Magnus Eruption on top of that, and the cleanup is real for the Hellborn team. Lord South Force trying to hold his ground. Shrunken Head is up. He has to run, though. Again, the physical damage proven to be too much from Madman especially, and now they're beating down the melee racks right here. They do have the kill on a Midas, of course, as there's the lockdown on it. Madman going for the kill. The barrel roll. No, it's not going to be enough. He goes down, but they get the racks in the end, so you could argue really got what they came for, and PinE definitely coming out on top there, despite that finish. Were there any buybacks? Yeah, it looks like Mickey did buyback to make that happen.
Wow, what a crazy turn of events there for PinE. I mean, that was really well played there. I mean, getting Haxor in there, they played it cautiously. They didn't want to overcommit. Then he gets hooked into a terrible position in the end and dies, but it's definitely worth it. They get the racks as well, and if he gets a staff here, imagine if he respawns in, between those 3 heroes, and he will just kill them all. So get a staff here, and you can do whatever you want basically at this point. Even though the stats are this even, it's really strong, honestly. This is really well played from them, and yeah, it's looking good.
God, it's like part of me at the same time thinks he also really could use a Shrunken Head this game. This is a very big Shrunken Head game. So, but again, that's where staff's interesting, especially having a deadlift to kind of back that up, because it almost acts like because you obviously are invulnerable to everything. I mean, you're immune to everything for that duration. Yes, you die after it, but with a deadlift, you can then just simply resurrect him ideally, and so he's right back up. So yeah, I guess the staff is overall just better value here in the end. But
the reason I'm saying the staff is better than Shrunken Head this game is because they have that burst. If Mickey PKs in and hooks him back into a puppet ulti, he dies instantly.
True.
And if he has Shrunken Head there and just dies, they will kill the gravestone really quickly. I mean, Sync is disciplined enough to do that. And then Madman is dead. But if he has the staff there, he can just kill the puppet, kill whoever killed him, and then, kill a couple heroes, and then they can resurrect him after, because he can position himself with the Stark and just get out, and then they can resurrect him there where there's no enemy heroes. So it's really strong. I mean, especially when they're ahead like this, it's a deadly combo.
Absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely does make sense there. And yeah, deadlift, again, we talked about the presence of being able to res is solid here, but also his item build. I mean, he's managed to get over 300 gold per minute. Of course, being able to pick up these aura items as a deadlift usually would. The barrier idol on top of it now. to go with the Plated Greaves and Abyssal Skull. So, yeah, he's really doing a bit for this team, actually. You know, the one of the bigger criticisms of a Deadlift is that he really scales off into that later game stage. But because of some decent farm and that presence of being able to res, he still has something going for him in that late game stage. And it's happening to be pretty big value this game, that's for sure. So,
yeah, HTS4 has been playing really well. I mean, he had some great rotations mid into top and getting some towers there, and then rotating back mid where there's constant action. And he's been playing well, 4-1-5.
Yeah, still hasn't died. Wow. Only one yet. As Magnus gets caught, though, but kind of not really. In the end, he is going to be fine, actually.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're playing it cautiously here. I would like to see them pick up a Bound Eye if they don't have one. Oh, Prophet has one, okay, because those wolves can really set up a good initiation for Sync. So if they get those out, it should be fairly hard for Sync to somehow gain a lead here.
Look at
Midas
this.
sees them here.
Yeah, Midas, he's feeling crafty. Oh, they saw him go invis, but Hax juked it. He saw Magnus running in. He actually was able to juke it. Sheer Fate is down. He's trying to kill that gravestone. Can he kill it in time? I don't think so. It's going to be res on to Magnus right here. Be able to fight strong. Madman was picked off, though. That's the important thing. I was so focused on Magnus and getting res, I didn't even realize Madman actually got picked off throughout that. However, he gets res too. Are you kidding me? Aluna goes down. Resurrection by Deadlift, so powerful, and now Warbeast is in trouble. No, never mind. Madman, too much damage in return. Eruption comes out. They do kill Warbeast, but down goes Magnus, and actually Sync Esports is going to win this fight pretty well in the end as Prophet the sole survivor. So, yeah, it all started with that juke by Puppet Master at the beginning, and Sync Esports rolls over PinE, actually. His lap finishes with a hat trick there on top of it.
Nicely fought. I mean, good sidestep from Hax at the same time. That really set the tone of that fight. But I think PinE should really get that staff, and then they can win those fights every time. And then all they need to do is blink stun one, get out, reset. Madman goes in, kills that target, and then they stun another target and keep going like that. Force them to use everything on Madman, because then they will win the fights. But Madman doesn't have the staff yet, and Sync picks the timing to fight. That's perfect here.
Yeah.
And they get out ahead.
That was, God, again, I'm still almost taken back by just how well that went for Sync, but I think it also does kind of reflect that Sync in this game, and even throughout it, even with that push to the top lane and obviously being big for PinE, getting the melee racks down that early, and how scary Madman was looking, it really showed that Sync was still doing pretty damn good throughout most of this game. They just happened to lose that top fight and got caught out in a pretty bad spot, especially with Puppet not having a buyback and whatnot. So, but they're clearly actually still very much in this game, and you could even really argue that they're in the lead now. Of course, the stats reflect that. I mean, being down a racks definitely hurts, but this is looking good for them now all of a sudden.
It is
for Sync.
definitely.
So,
and it's not too bad because usually Warbeast sits top and pushes that out anyways. And he's able to do that, even if there's a racks down in the lane. Of course, it's harder. It doesn't give that much gold, but it's still doable for them.
you do got the staff now finished on Madman, so that's where things are going to be really interesting now. Of course, this is the item of the game where it's like, okay, now what happens? Let's wait and see.
Yeah, the problem is since they took top racks, Snap has managed to farm a full demonic or Madman mid lane.
He's in a lot of trouble right here. Magma's going to respond, though. Will this be big enough? Barrier out even coming out. Madman may end up dying. Of course, he does have that staff, though. Is locked down, though. Look at that. He cannot move because as you're locked down going into it, you stay dead. He's going to fall back and make himself in a good spot to get resurrected by Deadlift right there. Meanwhile, Warbeast, he's trying to help finish off Magnus. They will get the kill. Deadlift trying to help turn it now with Madman coming back in. There's a couple of auto attacks, and down it goes. Lord South Forest right there. Madman holding his ground against Puppet Master. It's not going to be enough, though, but there's a second staff proc. And again, now they have to try to run right here. Luna's going to be picked off. It does refresh, but Puppet Master gets away. The regen, we're going to help him keep alive. Madman going to do some damage. It's not enough, though. He goes down. Deadlift will pour it out. And that will be the end of that exchange. So that staff Madman really is something, but it wasn't enough that fight as Sync once again comes out there.
Yeah, double damage Puppet Master, and then PinE is not able to get a stun and get out and reset and get another stun. They stun in and then they die. And that's really what's keeping or forcing Sync to win these fights, and that's unfortunate for them. If they're able to do that, they can win the fights. Get multiple Magma stuns, multiple Midas follow-ups, and they will win. But hasn't been the case here.
Well,
they're kind of falling a little bit apart here. Yeah. Pause coming out.
Yeah, this has to be a strap pause. I mean,
yeah.
It's they know it. It's obvious that they can feel it too, as you pointed out right there. I mean, that was just almost silly, kind of going out like that, especially with him dead. So Staff, Mammon, and Dilla? I don't get what they're complaining about though. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a good combo. Like, I don't think it's like broken. It's just happens to be a good combo.
I don't think so either. You need to be ahead in order for that to be effective.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're ahead, you have to have done something that deserves you to be ahead, and you can thrive off of that. So I think it's okay. But it's definitely very strong. But you can kite them as they just did here. They kited them very well, and that's where my point of if they can survive with their initiators and get multiple stunts off, then Madman is not going to be able to be kited, and he will be able to kill the opposing side here. But hasn't happened the last two fights. And this Shieldbreaker is not as effective anymore as it was 10 minutes ago, especially since Slapped has the Demonic now, and everyone is leveling up, so they get more natural armor anyways. Podmaster's 20 now. 10 minutes ago he had 11, so it's going to be harder from now on. It takes him more than just 4 auto attacks to kill the forest. He needs to use 12, 13 or something.
Yeah, I was actually noticing Slapped, he also kept that Demonic on defensive too, the ally mode. So even getting more armor for him and his team as far as the aura goes. So, again, it makes sense that really is their big threat, the idea of that Shieldbreaker level 3 physical damage. So, sure, the offensive could enhance not only himself, but especially Warbeast, but I think making sure Madman can't kill you off quickly is really the important goal here for Sync Esports, and yeah, that's shown these last couple of times. But yeah, that's interesting too. I know we've talked about it with Arachna as well, that the going up against like a Staff Madman, how if the spider's on him initially, like as he dies, and he will still be slowed at the beginning of it. I mean, we saw right there, the Puppet Master, another great hero apparently. If you get that the hold off right as he's about to die, if you have that cooldown ready, then it'll lock him down through the good couple of seconds going into the Staff ulti, and that's huge. I mean, that really does hurt the potential of the Staff of the Masters, so
definitely
maybe not as strong as people are making it out to be.
Yeah. Also another thing, I would like to see them pick up a Bulwark. Since Madman built this Shieldbreaker 3, I would like to maybe STST could have built a Bulwark instead of the Barrier Idol. Not that Barrier Idol is that bad. I mean, it can't be purged by Gauntlet, but it's still pretty good to neutralize the Qs from Sulfuris and the Gauntlet Blast, I guess, and the Power Throws. So it mitigates a bit of damage, but I think Bulwark right now would do more for them. So if someone could get that into a Demonic, I know it's when you lose 2 fights like this, it's really hard to just say get a Demonic. I mean, that's a lot of gold when you're getting behind like that. But I think it's the right idea or the right call to get that. Start working on it. I know Magnus is a cheap thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of looking at this Hellborn team and being like, I mean, Soul's Bulwark, of course, yes, that is realistic, but man, a full Demonic at the way this game's going right now for PinE, outside of Madman, it's just that's going to be tough to really get, but there. Got to work towards it if they do want hope. Definitely could agree there. I mean, Madman, he hasn't been able to pick up anything since the Staff. He kind of got in a couple of fights here. Obviously, have come up short, so I could use another big item on him, what that may be. Well, plethora of choices here. I wonder if something like the wing bow could look interesting to him, but gonna try Kongor again here.
It counter around here. Certainly it does have a ward here on the left side, so they see a bit, but they don't see inside the pit here. Yeah, they do see the heroes that are trying to hide on the left side here, so maybe they want to do something. I mean, Token Madman is tough to deal with. This might be a deciding fight if PinE loses this one.
So right there, the Bound Iron Madman. So yeah, he sees, look at that, he puts the illusion in now. Almost trying to bait them into it, but not going to be had. So now the real Madman goes back into it and going to try to finish off Kongor here. The Shieldbreaker, the gash and everything, but man, he is being very patient with it. He's just not really comfortable to actually commit to it.
Hellborn is pretty split here. Magnus is on the right side and the rest is kind of on the left. Sip is scouting out Midas now. So the Sync might want to go since they see that.
Oh boy.
Oh, Puppet is looking.
Yeah, there we go. He jumps on a gauntlet. The quick kill coming out right off the bat. Lord Self Force not going to be the next target. Madman's locked down though. Here comes the Staff proc. Gonna go off. Lords off Force is running away. Meanwhile, in the background, the supporting cast are in trouble. They're killing Deadlift. Deadlift's dead with him dead. He needs to be able to buy back. He can't. So Madman's gonna stay dead. He does not have a buyback. God, he must just be short here with 1,100 gold. And now mine is gonna be picked off. But with that happening especially, double tap for Slap. Now Sync. They're gonna try to finish this game right here, and honestly, they could.
Yep, they can. Yeah, no buybacks. Magnus is alive, so is Profit, but he needs like double, triple eruption to fend this off. I think this is double racks. This is mid and make a good hook.
Yeah, like I said, especially with the way these last couple of fights have been going, I think PinE's gonna have to throw in the towel here. It's clearly just almost like a losing. It's like it was such a good start for them. I mean, that's gotta feel frustrating, but that's the thing too, though. To be fair, it's not that I don't think PinE made an obviously poor play, you know, that really kind of set them behind. It was just that Sync was always doing pretty good. They happened to lose, like we're talking about, that top fight though, and you know, PinE was able to get that early racks, but I honestly think Sync was in the lead for most of this game.
Yeah, they were,
that.
for sure. They had the triple core, they found the map faster, but it was still, I mean, they had potential to win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, they got kind of ahead. At the same time, I like what they did here last fight here in Sync. They went for the deadlift, killed him, so Madman is not resurrected twice, and in that way they nullify that and they can just kill Madman after, which they do.
Profit going to be picked off immediately. Probably a last-ditch effort, perhaps, here from the Hellborn team. And you see right here, scattering away. You see Deadlift in the background. Again, he's trying to live. Sync knows, though, he's a priority. Definitely Puppet Master, though. We'll go down in the background. Madman is going to be hit by that Gauntlet Blast. He turns back in and trying to get the kill. But now he's trying to kite away, actually. Is his Berserk up? It is, so he would stay alive, technically. But he's playing it very safe, as Profit is going to be picked off too. Hat-trick coming out for his slap, but now Warby's in trouble as Madman going back on him, trying to finish him off, but no, he's not going to go for it again. He kites away. Madman's doing a very scary, cautious play now in these fights here as Deadlift gets picked off. So, yeah, again, you can just tell the PinE is kind of realizing it's just too much. Another buyback, by the way, from Sync. So actually, Mika is out of buybacks now, and Haxerin using one right there, but going to actually finish off Kongor now as Madman is coming back in. Not in time, though. Magnus, he gets there just too late. Haxerin already got the token. The Transmute combo coming out, but with that Shrunken Hand, Puppet Master going to be fine. Nice Storm Spirit on the Gauntlet. They do lock down Madman. So here we go. Going to Gauntlet Blast as he dies right there. And yeah, he's going to try to chase down this Gauntlet, but he's just out of range. And now Madman's going to fall. And there's, look at Zibe. Call the aggressive GG, I love it. The BM is real, but
Yep.
Basically is here. PinE, you know, perhaps hanging in there just figuring like, we were so close to being so good here against Sync and possibly taking the first game, but it is going to be in a losing effort. I mean, it was a valiant effort for sure, and I think I do like the idea of the Madman Deadlift, that there is some pretty good synergy there, so that was clever by them. But
I think when they go to the Skype call and discuss what went wrong here, I think they will probably realize if we farm the staff on Madman and then look for the kills, I think at that point, then force the fights with kind of baiting Madman, him running in and just going full ham on whoever he finds. I think then that would have been the way to win a fight and never let Sync get ahead in that fight that happened the bottom river after the racks went down. I think that is where they could have changed the game and swung it in their favor.
yeah, well, talk it over, learn from your mistakes, and eventually move on to the second game here is going to have what is going to be what PinE has to do. But again, for now, they're staying in it, and so Sync is just going to, well, have to finish the old-fashioned way. They got the token on Puppet Master, Genjiro in full now. I mean, Haxerin really has had a hell of a game, too. We've almost overlooked that because it's kind of caught up with the Madman and the Deadlift. But hell, not only Haxerin, but yeah, look at Slap, 630 GPM. Jesus. Didn't even see that until now. 16, 3, and 16, and even more to add to that as they burst Madman right off the bat. And, well, there's a thing with the staff. You need to activate the ultimate for it to work. He wasn't able to right there. GG, well played, is called. And it is official. So game one will go to Sync Esports over PinE here. So PinE, it's showing that they can compete at least against Sync. And have a chance, but sink the better in the end.